This is Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century.
Now, let me see, brother. There's a thing that crossed my mind. We talked about Kamala. Oh, and Bernie Sanders.
No, yeah, give me Bernie Sanders. I gotta hear this, yeah.
Oh, my God. That was just, you know what? I mean, he's the kind of person that you hope, he's like the ones that you hope got killed off in the first part of Fiddler on the Roof. He's just a vicious, hateful Zionist. Since you don't like reparations, then, you know, ADOS needs to drag him for us to cut off the aid to Israel. They don't need no more.
Right.
I bet you he would never go for that. He is a liar. I mean, he has a little kind of lecherous look anyway, and he always had that little piece of slime in the corner of his mouth that moves back and forth like a trombone thing that you slide to get the notes on. You ever notice that?
It's something about him that's off, you know, like he's more crankier, I guess, because he's older, but he just ain't the one, man. I could sit out 2020 and not vote for him and be okay with it.
Myself, when we touch ourselves in the restroom, we try to ejaculate all the things to reach the mirror in the restroom of this country. The dollars and the dubs and the whores that used to sleep with us have been sent to other countries by the Clintons.
Hell, I mean, I thought that was Bernie on the phone for real, man. Like, great job, Dr. Short.
I don't want to see one black person be compensated for the work of their ancestors when they're not working today. What we need in this country are low-paying jobs that people in the ghetto are qualified.
You got him.
He's always got all the answers. You don't have a damn answer to anything, Bernie. In fact, he hasn't even learned to, like, get some, what's this stuff called, some Clairol for men. I mean, dude, look like a scarecrow with the suit on. I mean, he just looks scary. I mean, he looks like, have you ever seen the little Christmas crier?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have the little, I mean, yes, he looks like Ebenezer Scrooge from A Christmas Tale.
He sounds like him, too, when it comes to reparations. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He is. He's an Ebenezer Scrooge for reparations. Yeah, bar humbug nigger. Say it out. Say it right. No, absolutely don't like him. I don't like the little Nazi bitch that's out. Tulsi Gabbard, she's for Hindu racism against black people. She's just like Kamala. Both of them don't have a dot, but they still hate black people. Everybody's awful. Ooh, they're terrible.
Well, Trump it's gonna be a cakewalk for Trump, man. It's like it's gonna be an easy win.
Trump has a good chance. The thing is, now I need to tell you, you know they're talking about reparations. That pimp-looking preacher Scott that works with Trump, he's pro reparations.
Oh, I think Trump would just do it just despite the Democrats. I think he would do some type of reparations.
Yeah, no. Trump is crazy enough to do that. I've been hearing, it's been rumors coming to me that Trump and them are trying to talk about reparations.
Oh man, he's smart.
Some black Republicans. Yeah. There's some black Republicans that are talking about reparations. This ADOS shit is getting to the Republicans faster than the damn Democrats.
So I mean,
now there's this rumor. People hearing that these people now having meetings talk about reparations, at least talk about reparations to Trump. Now, why can't these goddamn Democrats do this? If Trump and them are Nazis with the red hats, if a Nazi will talk about reparations, why can't these people that are so socialistic and liberal do the same damn thing, if not better? Where is that, what is it? You know the one, the little silly, Maxine Waters, aside from needing a facelift, she's going to need to come up with some new lies because that bitch told people last year in Cobra that she would support reparations. She's gone on radio silence. It's because that drunk Nancy Pelosi told her to keep her mouth shut. She's like an attack dog. You know, impeach 45. Impeach 45.
Wow.
Shoot. and bald-headed John Lewis. When we was marching back in the 60s for our rights, as we went through the South, we were not trying to get reparations for the slaves. What we were looking to do is to promote more love and community in our country, where we would love one another regardless of color, class, or religion, or sexuality. I had to put that in there because, well, it's a secret.
That was so good. You gotta talk about his colleague, man. Clyburn, man. Clyburn. You gotta do Clyburn. Oh, yeah.
No, I don't know how to talk with that Uncle Ben nigga. And he needs to just go full Michael Jordan ball-headed. I mean, this shit's more uneven. I mean, come on, there's a barber shop in the Rayburn office building. Take your ass down there and even that shit out, man. And his office, I'm telling you, I went in there one time, there was nobody black working. I'm telling you. You would have thought Strom Thurmond's office was his. There was nobody black there. And then when they opened the door, they had black people hidden in the back. I said, oh, there's a nigger in the front. Okay, you guys can go out and talk to him now. Right, it was really, I mean, I think I told you John Lewis had the white guy with the really tight pants on and a tight shirt, a couple buttons undone with no tie with the ponytail. And I was thinking, I bet you he's Big John at Edmund Pettus Bridge in his house. He probably has a little bed that looks like Edmund Pettus Bridge with handcuffs on the headboard.
Whoa,
yeah, I'm talking to. We have all those people need to be put out. Clyburn is against reparations. I mean, in fact, he needs reparations for whoever does his hair and his teeth. Whoever wrote his speech the other day, he needs reparations for that. You know, they're dragging him. He needs to go. He's been there too long. And I hate to say this because I'm not like this, but what is it about the dark-skinned black folks who get in politics where they're the biggest coons of all? I mean, he's probably heard more Blackie jokes than Wesley Snipes in Alaska. And he's the biggest coon up there. I mean, he's competing. He's almost on the John Lewis level. And I didn't think anyone could get there. You know, there's a third heaven where God is up with the angels. Well, if there's a coon heaven and it's a third one, John Lewis is up there on the throne on the right hand of fraud, not God. But, I mean, Clyburn, I mean, he's been such a coon. He could have been Speaker of the House, but he was too busy trimming the grass for Miss Nancy. Nancy Pelosi, I mean, is a lying, drunken, despicable person with no personality. In fact, she's so weak. The little congresswoman from Connecticut, on Wednesday, she chucked one black congresswoman with some ovarian resistance, okay? She basically told Nancy Pelosi, no. Now, these old coons, in particular, Maxine Waters, they say black don't crack. She's the exception. She's all cracked up. I mean, what you do with that face? Oh, my God. You know what? Let me tell you something. We can make seaweed cookies with her face. Just put it and make them old. I mean, just, oh, God, Maxine, fix it. Fix me, Jesus. Oh, Maxine, God, you ain't done nothing for black folks in California. They support DACA. They help everybody but us. I'm not lying about that. And this, hold on, I got to do this. Omar, you know, remember Snow White? You saw the Snow White movie, right? The animated one? Okay, well, the woman from Somalia, Ilhan Omar. She looks like a young version of the witch that gave the poison apple to Snow White. She looks like a young version of the apple.
Wow.
She looks evil, man. I don't have a problem with some of what she's saying, but you know, a lot of the Somalis don't dig black people. Did you know Omar's for LGBTQ? Omar's for the illegals. Omar is for the feminists, which means Omar's not for ADOS. You don't hear this broad talking about reparations, that she wouldn't have had that job without the black vote. And here she is trying to help everybody, free everybody. That's the kind of contempt she shows those overly incarcerated black folks in Minnesota. So I'm kind of glad they're catching hell. But you know what? They dog Cynthia McKinney. These same niggas in the Congressional Black Caucus, they wouldn't stand up for a black American woman, right? But they would stand up for this Somali broad who's connected to terrorism. She is connected to terrorism. That's a fact. And it's really, really insulting to me, man. It's really insulting to me. She's awful. I mean, and so Omar should be looking at doing something for black folks, and she's going to sit down and try to take on all of Judah. I mean, your first couple of weeks, I mean, that takes a lot of nerve. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to take her ass down. She's going to go down. I'm serious.
Well, what
now,
about...
This is the woman from Connecticut is named Jana Hayes. And Jana Hayes kicked Nancy Pelosi's behind on Wednesday, telling her she wasn't going to sign anything she hadn't read, which means all the other coons, Uncle Ben Clyburn, Tom Lewis, Extreme Waters, the Geico caveman, Al Green, Bobby Flush, they need to flush his ass. The one in D.C., the one that looks like the guy from Hill Street Blues, my Congress delegate, Eleanor Holmes Norton, she does look like him.
Okay.
And he has better complexion. She looks like the dude from Hill Street Blues. Elijah Cummings, by the way, Elijah Cummings looks like John Lewis on steroids. And you know what I'm saying?
I thought about Barry Bonds. Okay, go ahead.
They do. They look like they both have like this Cupid doll on chemo look. You know, like if you know the Cupid dolls, they both look like Cupid dolls on chemo.
Oh my God.
And it's just absolutely they do. Sorry.
Okay.
And did you see him crying, trying to tell the guy from Meadows from North Carolina how much he loved him? This is racist ass dude that took that sister out there like she was Topsy from Uncle Tom's Cabin to embarrass Cohen. That was hilarious, man. And I know that broad want that job. You see, this sister that does not want to be in the unemployment line. She would have dogged her mother in the congressional hearing. You saw that, didn't you?
No, I didn't see that. But I wanted to ask you about that Cortez girl, your lady from New York, the notorious AOC, the Cortez, the rookie.
I don't like her. Look, she hates black people. We need to send her back to Puerto Rico while they're having a hurricane.
Wow.
She says that she's part black. You're going to speak for black issues, but you're not black. I don't like her. And along with getting her access code to use the congressional computers and system for her boyfriend, I hope she gives him some because she needs it. I mean, she wouldn't have that much time to fight everybody if she would like have no orgasm now and then. She's like really plugged up. I mean, I don't know. She's fighting everybody. I mean, she's like horny Fight Club.
Horny Fight Club.
Yeah, horny Fight Club with some picante and sauce in it. You know, a salsa. I mean, she's and her green stuff, I mean, no disrespect, some of that stuff is ridiculous. The only thing dumber than that is her thinking she's a white woman. I can't wait until someone calls it nigger. I hope that, you know, and I know they have the same word in Spanish, okay, and then they're said in both languages so they can understand it. And then the one from Michigan. Yeah, the one from Michigan, she looks like I'll be the king.
Interesting.
And she looks like I'll be the king in shape.
Wow.
Anyway, she does look like I'll be the king in shape when she was young. Anyway, let me just say to you, look, Cortez, we need to chump her down. What she said about reparations, I'll never forgive her for. And Ta-Nehisi Coates, in fact, my put down is I'm a pussy Coates. Let her say that stupid thing about reparations. They trotted his lame ass out to justify reparations going to everybody between her and Elizabeth Warren, who looks like Elton John on crack. In fact, she does look like Elton John on crack. Nobody wants her. I have friends that are Indians, black Indians. I went to school with a guy, I think his name, Lamont. I forget Lamont's last name. Lamont is darker than Wesley Snipes. Was a real black Indian from Massachusetts. Elizabeth Warren has done nothing for the black Indians. Most of the Indians in Massachusetts look like you and me, brother. She ain't done nothing for them. And she had the nerve to say reparations for everyone. That bitch has already gotten reparations off of black Indians' asses. She's a millionaire because she's a liar. So I don't, you know, there's nothing she can do for me. She can go to hell back to Massachusetts and stay there. She's trying to be relevant. In fact, she wanted to be relevant. Let her damn hair grow. She cuts it so short. I mean, I don't know if I'm looking at the professor from Gilligan's Island. I mean, really. She's. I mean, why do you have all these mannish-looking women in government? I mean, it's, you know, at least Omar looks feminine with her hijab on. But, you know, and by the way, I heard she went off on Obama today. She's saying all the right things to make me, on a certain level, agree with her. But to me, dogging Obama of what he used to do versus talk about reparations and doing something about police brutality, which now some of her Somalis are now beating black folks' asses up in Minnesota, I don't dig her too much.
Wow.
People need to buff it on that broad. And by the way, she talks a lot of trash about stuff, but I have a partner that listens to your program who said his son has gone to her office, and the only thing they want to ask the black man with the business from Minnesota was how many gays did he have working for him. That's real talk.
Wow.
That's what that Muslim broad did. How many gays do they have? And he said the office is full of Jews. So she won with black votes, but didn't give any patronage jobs in her office for D.C. to blacks. And then she's going to run around and look like she's for us. No, it's a scam, y'all. I got to talk about, I got to dog her for a couple more minutes. Now, in Somalia, they dog Christians. In Kenya, they kill people because they're Christian. The Somalis have a caste system called the Midigans or the Gaboy. These folks are basically subhuman. They are the niggers of Somali society. So they treat, what's her name? Omar, her type treat the people there like they us here. Don't buy the hype. She's not cool. Yes, the Palestinians get dogged, but don't the Palestinians come to America and dog black folks in Dearborn and then Detroit? And by the way, that's how that broad Tlaib got in. They flooded all the money, bought off, and now we got this broad. And everybody's going to fight for stuff in the Middle East and ignore the communities that we live in, and it's our votes that got them in. We need to turn on these people. And we need to blame the Democratic Party. And yes, I hate the Democratic Party. Destroy that shit. If I could smash it into 1,000 pieces, I would. Black folks need their own damn party. Yeah. I don't know how to do it, but I'm open. I had a sister call me from Chicago. Brother Ron, we need to keep pushing this. We could have our own party. If nothing else, we could have a forum. We do need to have a reparations forum, and I'm telling you, brother, you and I need to partner. We could do this over YouTube because ADOS ain't moving fast enough. We need to have a thing where we put it to the entire Congressional Black Caucus, but starting with punk-ass John Lewis. And tell him we're going to call him faggot if he don't support reparations. We're going to just drag your ass out the closet. I'm going to offer reward. Anyone with personal information on John Lewis, we're going to give you money if you don't support reparations. This is how they get stuff done in D.C. That House of Cards shit is real. I live here. Let me tell you something. I had a friend. He wanted something. He went to the office of Marion Barry. And the people were being mean to him. And he asked, and this lady came out. And she was very dismissive towards him. And he named the man that she was fucking. He started yelling and screaming. But he got what he wanted. You can't come in with the paperwork. None of that means anything here. I'm telling you, D.C. is like Memphis, but with a lot of government buildings here. You can go in, everything is right, and the person will completely ignore you and say, don't you go to Mr. P's? Mr. P's is a gay place. Okay, well, just a moment, I'll be back out. Why are you here? They won't disagree with you. They want you to shut up. You have a fat mouth. Is there anything else you need, sir? And it's crazy. You go in and do it the right way and you don't get anything. You go in and tell someone your father frequents Jerry's Steakhouse, doesn't he? Okay, which form do you need? They almost know when you say something, you threaten someone in a nice voice, right? All of a sudden you get something. Even at Howard, I had a buddy, I never got anything. My friend would go in and sexualize with all the old black women in there. I mean, they would give them extra financial aid and extra forms, jobs. And you go in and just say, ma'am, here's my paper. You can put it there. And you don't get anything. You go and say, ma'am, you look really nice today. I said, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, well, young man, there's a job for a student. And everything is like sex, or it's never like business. And I had a friend of mine who quit working at Morgan State. He told me he'd been trying to get business cards for 2 years. And he couldn't get them. And he says, I know why you don't have your business cards. You can get your business cards in 2 days. He says, how am I going to get it in 2 days? I haven't got it in 2 years. I says, you're from Nigeria, aren't you? You're one of those little conservative Muslim type people. I says, what you haven't happened to figure out is that, one, the woman, she's not married, the woman that works in your office, she's about 54. She probably hasn't screwed in about 2 or 3 years. You're nice looking. You're very respectful. She probably thinks that you're packing like at least a 10. And, and you've been egging her like, she knows you're married, but you make it seem as if she could never dream to get it. So she's messing up your agenda because you won't tear up her stuff. And it says, I find it hard to believe. I says, well, I'm going to write out a script for you. I'm going to write out a script for you to call the office, and I assure you, you'll get your cards in 2 days. And I wrote out, Miss So-and-so, oh, forgive me, I feel so bad. I forgot to tell you last week, I really like what you had on, and I want to know, where can I get that? Because my wife should wear something like that. And you always impress me, always give me ideas for what. And she cut him off and said, your business cards will be ready Friday. And he couldn't believe it. I told you. She's saying, I'd like to screw you, even though you're married, but don't make it seem like I could never get it. Don't. See, sisters are dishonest. Sisters still want to rock when they're in their 50s and 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And if they feel like, you only like young women whose tits don't sag, right? but then you do your own paperwork. You get it. They won't do stuff they won't even do their own damn job over this other stuff. This is why some of the sexual harassment stuff, this Me Too stuff, it's going to backfire on a lot of women. Eventually, folks will come back at them. And I can't wait, because a whole lot of women are not going to be honest that you have to do stuff and wink at them and do stuff. You can't just come in and do the work, because they don't permit that. Mm-hmm. And they do it, too. So, do you know? It does work. And it's a thing I was going to say to you. I'm watching Venezuela. Have you noticed that they've gotten quiet about Venezuela? They don't want to take this stuff in there. There was a news report that the Iranians have a new torpedo that it's like a super new torpedo. Now, Iran and Venezuela are military partners.
Oh, okay.
I was just talking to someone in a long conversation that the Venezuelans, if they don't have surface missiles that could take out American ships that are off their shores, if they got some pleasure vehicles and launched some torpedoes, they could jack up some of the American ships. Mm. Well, this is, oh man, they've got technology to counter torpedoes. And then I look and I see their military partner has new torpedoes that are able to get around some of the new technology. If America goes into Venezuela, it's going to be much worse than Vietnam. Wow. I hope Trump and them don't do it. And particularly, the other thing that's interesting to me, you know who makes me mad? Roland Martin is a Haitian. Have you noticed his show? He never talks about Haiti.
Okay.
What a phony. What a phony. Hey, Kool-Aid Coon. This roll is bloated ass. He always talks about Black American issues and lectures us about what he'll never talk about his homeland. He needs to raise some money, maybe get some toilet paper or Kotex, or at least Band-Aid for the criticism of all the women getting raped by the UN soldiers and NGO people down there, right? Mm. He is sorry. ADOS, one of the things that ADOS needs to also do is make some of these foreign Negroes that always talk stuff to us do something about where they came from. Like, fix up Jamaica instead of coming over here trying to run our shit. Mm-hmm. And by the way, that's one of the biggest phony people that they need to expose. Sheila Jackson Lee is a Jamaican. I always thought something was uncouth. Yeah, she ain't one of us. No wonder she had the hair all fucked up. I saw her one day. She looked like a homeless person. Yes, she did. And I'll tell you when it happened. The Philippines had a hurricane a couple years ago. Maybe it was 2013, 2014. 2014. And Sheila Jackson Lee, because, they got to look out for the Asians, got out of bed. She should have stayed. And went to state her support for the people of the Philippines because they give her money. And Sheila Jackson Lee looked so bad. She looked like one of those people in the refugee camp in Africa. I said, damn. No sister I know from America would come out the house looking like that unless they were homeless or they're on drugs. And when someone explained to me that she was a Caribbean, that's just, now I got it. I'm not saying the Caribbean women come out of the house looking bad, but that's where all the attitude and the stank foulness and crudeness and just how out of control she is and the selfishness and how her congressional district is completely being destroyed and gentrified, and she ain't saying nothing because she don't care. She's like a big poisonous crabapple tree. I mean, don't even try to bite nothing up on there. She is awful, and our people need to start checking people. I think there's another one, or Carson from Indiana. He's a trop. He's a Caribbean. He's not one of us. And we need to shake these people. Y'all need to go back. In fact, the woman, Omar, do you know it's alleged that she put on her document that she was married to her own brother? You know, talking about keeping it in the family. I hope that's just for chain migration. I hope they weren't like, you know, acting like they're in West Virginia. Because if so, do you realize if that's true, and she lied and said she's married to her brother, under the new immigration rules that passed in the summer, they can deport Omar right back to and her brother. All of them can be sent back to Somalia. Don't believe it. You know, tricks are for kids, brother. Tricks are for kids. See, they got her. So Omar is in. She needs to watch out. And the other person that we just have to consistently mess with these people, ride their asses. This situation I was thinking about for ADOS, forgive me because there's so much going on upstairs. Sheila Jackson Lee, going back to her for a second. You know that Sheila Jackson Lee gets money from terrorist groups?
Wow, really?
Yeah, there's a group called what's it called? It's called Mujahideen Al-Haq. MOK. It's MKO.
Okay.
It's Mujahideen Al-Haq organization. It is an Iranian terrorist group. She gets money from these people. Now, they've been removed from the terrorist registry, but they're recognized as a terrorist group in Iran and Iraq because they've blown up stuff. The current supreme leader of Iran almost got killed by a bomb from MKO. And Sheila Jackson Lee runs with them. They're a cult group. They do all kinds of odd sex stuff and so forth. And that's who Sister rolls with. Now, those people get whatever they want. Are you feeling me?
Yes, sir.
And it just goes on and on with these awful people. And that's why black folks don't get anything. Now, Sheila Jackson Lee supports the overturning of the government of Iran. So the people that are over here, that hate black people's guts, that are Iranian, that are reactionary, can get their country back. But you know that Jamaican broad does not believe in reparations for black people. She says she does, and she promised, fat girl promised, hippo girl promised, hippodrome promised.
Invalid option.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know.
I don't know what that was, but it wasn't invalid to me.
Right,
Hippo girl promised that she was going to support H.R. 40. Well, why hasn't she done something with it? The government's not closed. Was she lying?
Well, you know, they got rid of John Conyers, though. He was one of the people that pushed the H.R. 40, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Let me tell you something. I got to come back to this. H.R. 40, the last time they voted on it in 2018, the entire Congressional Black Caucus wasn't on board with it. However, the same Congressional Black Caucus, almost 100%, was on board for the Equality Act for gays and for legalizing pedophilia. I don't get those niggas on Capitol Hill. And the only thing that will change them will be hatred from our community. Disrespect. The same stuff that Maxine Waters says needs to be done to Trump's people, we need to do that to black people in office. They need to be cussed out when they go to a restaurant. They need to get hate calls in their office. They need to feel the anger and the resentment of black folks who are tired of being stabbed in the back and in the chest by people that know better. In fact, when I was up on Capitol Hill the other day, my buddy wanted to go up and see the one that looks like Muhammad Ali, with like Muhammad Ali decided to become a drag queen. Frederica Wilson looks like Muhammad Ali as a saloon drag queen, like like he's an old West prostitute. She does look like Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
She's useless. And all of these people, a lot of them are boule. And right about now, see, ADOS isn't attacking boule. ADOS has to do that. All of us have to begin to attack the boule. Boule in church, all of it. In fact, who's that big fat preacher? Reverend William Barber. You know the one, he's really big, man. He looks like he's like 4 or 5 Roland Martins. And he's always like sweating all the grease and goo is going down his collar and all that, right? And it looks like he has one of those jerry curls, you know, like ready for the world, extra large, Martin Luther King size. I mean, these people, let me tell you, as soon as it gets warm, they're going to bring out all this crazy pro-gay legislation. And they're going to use these niggas from the church to do it. And the boule. And yet, they're not going to want to do anything for the ordinary people. No infrastructure, none of that. They say Trump don't want to do it. And maybe he doesn't. But they don't want to do it either. Do you understand that it's something for nothing for us and them? And we've got to stop losing like that, you know?